this steriometer called the BSM 3070. This is also the steriometer that works automatically. So one thing you have to check is first when the patients come, you have to check the height of the person with the steriometer, and remember the value of the height, and you put when the patient comes on to the equipment, you have to
insert the
insert the height.
Okay.
But it measure the weight automatically when you come up with to the equipment.
This is for body impedance too?
Yes, this is the body impedance. And when the measurement is finished, the result sheet will be printed automatically. So basically, to check the body composition analyzer, you have to remove your socks and shoes. That is the most important thing.
Okay.
And you want to try one?
Yeah, sure.
And most important thing is that take off the heavy clothes, like jacket or as possible, but light as possible.
Okay.
And nothing like the ring and something like metal materials cannot be because it affects the results.
Okay.
Because the electro current, some different current flows throughout your body.
Yeah.
So please. Okay, here's the foot electrodes like here. And make sure that your feet on the electrodes bin.
Okay.
And it will start to measure your weight. And you should stay quiet not to make sure that you don't move.
Okay.
And this is the step of the insert the number of patients.
No, okay. The registration number?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
the height.
whatever
whatever
you want.
Okay.
Like you can use your phone number, like four digits. It could be possible.
Okay.
Like I will put my number, four numbers like this one.
Okay.
And you should have to insert your height when after measuring your height in the steriometer.
Okay.
You know your height?
Yeah. 188.
Okay, and this is your age.
Okay.
Male and female could be changed in the Portuguese or English.
Okay.
So make sure that your feet on the electrode, and took the hands electrodes as well, and grab the hand electrodes like this, gently, and stretch your arms like this. Okay, perfect. And the measurement takes about 30 or 40 seconds.
Okay. 인바디 검사를 시작합니다. 검사 중에는 말하거나 움직이지 마세요.
Okay, the measurement is completed, so you can have your socks and shoes.
Okay. So what kind of data we can get from
The data will be printed in the results sheet.
Okay.
Okay, this is your results sheets.
Okay.
when we see the most important thing is the how we interpret the results in the result sheets.
Okay.
So basically, when we get the result sheet, first thing we have to check is the impedance value, because in this part we can check that the measurement was correct or not.
Okay.
Because when we use the higher kilohertz of fluence, the higher fluence has the lower value of impedance.
Okay.
Okay, because the higher kilohertz fluence, the flows more easily than the lower one.
Lower impedance.
So when the impedance value goes down of each frequency, the measurement was correct.
Oh, okay.
If the in vice versa, if the value, for example, this one is higher than the lower frequency, the measurement was not correct.
Okay, from top to bottom, if it will increase, so that's something wrong.
Yes.
Okay.
So when you see this part, the measurement was correct, and then we have to interpret the body composition, the status of the patients. So basically, in this part, we can see the body composition and analysis. We shows you the basically 4 components from total body water, protein, minerals, and body fat mass.
Oh, nice.
Okay, and how we interpret in this part is after starts from the total body water. The total body water, 61.9 liter, is in your body. And add from this and the protein, the total body water plus protein will be here. And this means the muscle. The 양이 뭐죠?
Quantity or amount.
Quantity of muscle.
The amount of muscle.
And plus this, from after adding minerals, and this means the fat-free mass. Fat-free mass is from your weight minus the fat. Everything except the fat. And finally, if we add the body fat mass, we will get the weight.
Sure.
So your weight is like this. But we cannot explain how your body composition is good or not just reading this.
Just the results.
Because we have to interpret it. So basically, we start from the muscle fat analysis, and this is considering your weight. This part will show you whether your skeletal muscle mass is enough or not, and your body fat mass is high or not. So considering your weight, your skeletal muscle mass is this one is lower, as standard, and is high. So your skeletal muscle mass is quite high, and your body fat mass is high enough as well, considering your weight. So in specifically, we can see the numbers how we have to control our weight. So in this part, you're considering your height, your weight, idle weight, will be 99.9. So you you have to lose
37, 38.
This one is like you have to lose about just body fat mass.
Last year I lost 24 kilograms.
Oh, really?
Already. I was really big.
But the good thing is you have enough muscle, so you just have to maintain your muscle. That will be enough. And this one is the BMI, which is the basic standard is used around the world. That body fat called body mass index. Body mass index. This one is called dividing by body mass divided by height, square root of height.
I think
square root of height. So BMI is also higher, but the most important thing is your percent body fat. The percent body fat is a little bit high. So when you lose your fat mass, like this kilogram, the percent body fat will be reduced.
Will decrease.
As well.
Sure.
But the good thing is that this is the body balance evaluation, which means you can check your body balance, like
nice.
upper body and lower body, and left side or right side.
That's nice.
So this one is the first one is upper body, and the lower body is balanced, little bit imbalanced and very imbalanced.
Okay.
But your upper body and lower body is balanced.
Oh, nice.
And the lower part, two legs, left one and right one is also balanced, and the upper body as well. The arms, left arms and right arm are also balanced.
Nice.
And
just my question: if someone have a pain on the knees or in the body, it will affect the exam, right? So you have to check this first.
yes,
And how to proceed with this?
normally, if the patient has something metal material in his knees or the part of body, it affects the measurements.
Yeah.
So we do not recommend to use the patients like that, because we're still working on how we can measure the patients like that. But
so it's better to use another method.
yeah, it's like another method.
Okay. That's right.
So this is also the segment. Yes, and considering these values, we will show you the percentage.
Okay. That's nice.
So as you can see, like this one is the segmental lean analysis, like segmental muscle analysis.
Okay.
There's two graphs, like the upper graph, which means your idle, considering the idle weight, because every height have a recommendation of
weight.
idle weight.
Yeah, sure.
So the idle weight will be here.
Okay.
The steady
100.
parameter with 100.
Yeah, like this.
And your quantity of your right arm, the muscle will be the 5 kilograms.
Okay.
And this one is more than 100.
Okay.
And your the lower graph will be based on your current weight.
Okay.
So your current weight of your your current muscle of your right arm will be this one.
Okay.
You have like
So
higher.
this is the ideal situation, and this is the current situation.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Perfect.
And this one is we call the ECW ratio, extracellular water ratio.
Okay.
Which means we can check if the patients have edema or not.
Okay.
Because the cell has the intracellular water and extracellular water, and it between two it maintains the
interstitial water.
Yes, like 62 to 38. So the percentage of extracellular water will maintain always like 38%.
38%.
Yes.
Okay.
So we will be about 0.38, something like that.
Okay.
But you have now about 0.37. It's also
almost there.
yes. It's also in the normal boundary.
Okay. Okay.
But if the patients have more than 39%, if we can tell that the patients have edema.
Edema.
Edema is something like in the legs or
it's an accumulation.
Yes.
Of interstitial
Yes.
water. Okay.
So basically, this is the ratio, but we can check the intracellular water and the extracellular water separately.
Okay.
So you have intracellular water about 38.8 liter, and your extracellular water will be like this.
23.
And this is in the category of normal range.
Okay.
And
This is above the normal range, right?
This one.
Okay.
Normal range.
Okay. But me, for example, normal range from 16 to 20 to 20, and I'm 23, so it's above the normal, right? So it's a bad.
Above the normal level. You're right now here, because considering your weight, especially your also you have more muscle than the normal thing, so you have more intracellular and extracellular.
Oh, okay. Okay. I understand.
And this is the metabolic rate.
Oh yeah. Metabolism.
Metabolism.
Okay.
And you have you consume without any activity, you consume
2,205
yes.
kilocalories.
This is in the normal boundary.
Okay.
And this one, you can check. I will give you the English result sheet as well.
Nice. That's good.
And this was the sample, just checking the things.
Yeah.
And this one is the percentage of visceral fat.
Visceral fat. Yeah. Sure.
It's a 1.06.
Okay.
So a little bit high than the normal boundary. And this one is the level. So 1 to 9, we tell that it's a normal boundary, and you have 18 levels. So you have to mainly a little bit above your yes, especially in the belly.
Okay.
This one is the level of obesity.
Okay.
Level of obesity, and these ones are quite for the research parameters. So I think you don't need that much like this ones.
Okay.
And in this part we can see how changes the body composition of the patients. So if you firstly you put the number of your registered, you have the registered number, and after the patients come in the second time and the puts are same registered number, the data will be accumulated.
Oh, that's nice. They will compare along the time.
Yes.
Okay.
So basically, we can see the weight, skeletal muscle mass, and percent body fat, and ECW ratio as we see with this, and it will change prolonged as a graph.
Okay, that's really good.
So we can check the patients they're losing their weight, but mainly in the fat
they're
mass.
losing muscles or fat mass.
Yes,
okay.
that's the point.
You can analyze separately.
That's the point.
That's good.
So
pretty good.
there's pretty much all of it. And if you have any questions?
What is this?
This is one is the InBody score. It's we show the score to the patients or clients to understand them. They can understand more easily of their status of body composition.
Okay.
This one is calculated in this part, the weight control. So if you lose your fat mass, it will increase, and if you gain more muscle, it also increases.
I understand. It's like a punctuation.
Yes.
Okay.
Punctuation.
Out of 100. Okay.
It will be more than 100, like athletes who have too less of their body fat mass, but there's too much
muscle.
The score will be more than 100. Okay.
That's nice. Perfect.
Administration menu.
Okay.
Setup, and it will shows you to insert the password.
Okay.
Basically, the new equipment, the password will be 000.
Okay.
And from here, you can see the dates and the hour.
Okay. So
and the parameter of your height and weight, and where you are using. Considering this country, the language will be changed. Like this.
Okay.
If you want to use Korean, let me see if there's a Portuguese as well.
Okay.
There's a lot of language.
Yes, Spanish.
Oh, here, I think so.
Yeah,
Right?
Portuguese, Brazil. Oh, it's the name is wrong.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's right Portugal,
Uh-huh.
but it's Portuguese.
Ah.
Portugal is Portugal. That's another country. No problem. Just it.
So a few seconds later, it will be changed.
It will change
yes,
everything.
the display will be show in Portuguese as well.
Oh, okay. That's
Mhm.
right. That's very nice. You have to set before May or
No,
Oh, it's just to register.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah. Sure.
Let us check.
Sure.
Right?
Perfect.
I think the sounds will be changed as well.
Medindo o seu peso.
Oh, perfect. That's perfect. I feel at home.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the noticed will be noticed in Portuguese. So the patients heard the notice.
Oh,
Like you don't have to move or straight your arms and like this. We
Yeah.
will notice in Portuguese.
Oh, that's perfect.
Will be much better for you.
Yeah. And for the patients too.
Yes. And the other things, I don't think that much.
There's a cloud service.
Yeah, cloud service.
The
We
data will be
learned.
stored.
Yes, right now in Korea and some countries in Europe and the USA are using the cloud service.
Oh, nice.
But so if you use the cloud service, after the measurement, the results will be sent automatically to the cell phone of the patient.
Oh, nice.
So they can check their body composition status with their cell
Oh,
phone,
the cell phone.
InBody application.
Oh, nice. Nice.
But I think this year or next year in Brazil and the countries Latin Americans can use
Use this cloud
Yeah.
service too.
Yes.
That's right. Perfect.
And the other ones are doesn't make that.
Types of paper.
This one is the type of paper
Yeah.
because we have like this the InBody research sheets paper already.
Okay.
But if you run out of this paper, you can just use A4 the blank one.
Sure, sure.
So
And they will print everything.
everything,
all of this. Okay.
yes.
If you change for A4, it will just print everything.
Yes.
If you use the sheet, just the date.
Including this one. these
Oh,
ones.
okay. Okay. That's perfect.
And the ones we can also use the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi.
Nice. Bluetooth.
And this one is the adjustment of the weight because when people have too much clothes, the patients or we can adjust the weight. So
nice.
your clothes you're wearing it might be
Maybe 600 grams, 1 kilogram.
Yeah,
No.
one like that.
Yeah.
The machine considering the weight of the clothes,
Yeah.
and it will be adjust your body composition as well.
okay.
Because when we wearing too much clothes, it will considering that your body fat is too much.
Yeah.
The clothes will be
Yeah, it's
considered
more-
like body fat.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Perfect.
There will be old. Then you need, I think.
Can I make just a maybe dumb question?
I know.
In the adjustment of weight, can you go there again? There's in which case you use positive?
Positive.
Yeah. You have to set to more.
In case of the equipment need
Calibration.
calibration. Sometimes when the patients are using the equipment too much, like we recommend the equipment prolong more than 7 years and more than millions of people.
Okay.
But sometimes the patients or the clients hurts equipment and it breaks down sometimes.
Okay.
So we have to wait calibration before the technical service. We put manually.
Okay. If in last case, if you don't have a technician,
Yes.
you can adjust it.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
This way. This way.
Okay.
Like this. Okay.
I think 180.
105. 185.
Oh, 85?
Yeah, you can.
I was wrong.
So when you step up to the stereometer, you have to stay calm and you make sure that the patients are not leaning for the stereometer.
Okay.
Like this.
Have to be parallel.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Like this. And this is. So. And this one is the blood pressure monitor. You can sit down here.
Have to.
No, it's
Okay.
okay. Like this. Straight forward to fully. Yes. And there will be a small hole,
Okay.
right? And
Yeah,
yes. And if it's ready,
Okay.
when you're ready, press
상향 가압
start.
방식 자동 혈압계 BP 바이오 320입니다. 말을 하거나 움직이지 마십시오. BP 바이오 320은 상향 가압 방식 혈압계입니다. 고객님의 혈압에 맞추어 압력의 세기를 조절합니다.
Okay, it's done.
측정이 완료되었습니다.
So after the measurement, it also comes out the result sheet, a little bit like this paper. And this is the maximum blood pressure.
Okay.
And this is the lowest one.
Okay.
And this is your heart beating.
Okay. Heart rate.
So you can check considering your the result sheets and the blood pressure together.
Oh, that's nice.
Because some people's like diabetes, who has diabetes or has some problems of the blood pressure, high blood pressure,
Yeah.
you can monitor as the with the blood pressure monitor and
Oh, okay.
together.
That's right. Perfect.
Okay.
Test time is 5 seconds. The sample time is really important because you only can use the capillary blood, not the venous blood nor arterial blood, only the capillary blood. And the calibration is with the plasma equivalent and memory. You can save up to 250 test results. The battery life, you use one lithium coin battery, and with that you can do the test up to 1,000 tests. And when you do the measurement, when you do the test, you can get the total averages in the meter. The meter automatically calculates the average of 14 days of the test result that you save into the meter. And the operating ranges are the temperature has to be between 10 to 40 degrees Celsius. If it is below or above this temperature range, you have to go to the place. You have to move the place where it is between the 10 to 40 degrees Celsius. And the humidity 10 to 90%. And the hematocrit range that you can measure is between 20 to 60%. So if the person, it's really rare, but if the person is below the hematocrit of 20 or above the 60%, the meter will give you an inaccurate
Okay.
result.
So you have to measure this before.
But 20 to 60% is really, really
It's a
rare.
really big range, yeah.
So normally, the people don't measure their hematocrit range and then
Okay.
measure the blood glucose because it's
Okay.
really rare.
Okay.
So we have the meter display where you can see the results and the symbol, like the measurement unit. The meter that goes to Brazil is fixed with the measurement unit milligram per deciliter
Okay.
because glucose can be measured with milligram per deciliter or millimolar per liter.
Okay.
But in Brazil, since they use that unit, we only the meter is fixed with that unit,
Okay.
so you cannot change it.
Okay.
There's a data port here, so you can connect
Mhm.
with the USB cable,
Okay.
and then to transfer the data to the computer. So you
Mhm.
connect the meter with the computer, and then you transfer the data
All of it.
to the computer through our program. We have a diabetes management program called Smart Log. So you have to download the software.
Okay. It's
In
an
order
offline
to-
software.
Yeah, install or to your cell phone. We also have an application, so
Okay.
either one, the computer or the cell phone.
Perfect.
And the test strip board where you insert the test strip. And M button is the on-off button. And also you can call the memory, the result that you have tested before, and you can go into the setting mode. And the C button is to review, like you go up and down. When you want to see the past data, past result, you go, you press C to go up and down.
Okay.
And also when you go into the setting mode, with the C button, you can change the date or time or the year.
Sure.
That's our test strip that work with this meter. And
This strip is specific for this device, right?
yes, so it is only compatible with this device.
Okay.
So this is our test strip. The test strip have the expiration date of 24 months from the manufacturing date. And this is the connector where you insert into the meter. And the reported result range is 10 to 600 milligram per deciliter, and the hematocrit range 20 to 60%. And here you will see the confirmation window where when you put the blood here, apply the blood here, it will go through here, and you will see in the confirmation window, you will see the blood going through it, and it will fill the window. If the blood only fills like just a half, you will see that the blood sample, the volume of the blood sample is not enough.
Not enough.
So it has to be filled like fully.
Okay.
And the sample size, required sample size is 0.5 microliter. That's really small, and it's just a drop off.
Yeah.
And here, I'll show you how to insert and replace the battery. Okay, so first, you slide up this part, the back part. And the battery is already applied, but when you first get the meter set, the battery will not be inside.
Okay.
So you have to insert the battery when you first get the meter. So generally we have meter bag with lancet, strip, meter. This is another kind of
Okay.
meter, and the lancet device.
Okay.
But the Brazil one, because of our distributor did not want to put the strip and the lancet device and the lancet. It just it will only have the meter.
Okay.
So you will get, you need to get the lancet and the lancet device
Okay.
in a local.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. No, it's
And the battery is also, the battery is included
included.
in the bag. So you'll get a battery
Okay.
like this, and to take out the battery, you have to pull it here. Yeah. And be careful on this because the plus part, the positive
Okay.
part, always need to go the facing down.
Okay.
Always.
Okay.
If you put like this, there's a time. Sometimes you will not. The cover will not come out.
Okay.
So you have to be very careful that the positive part has to be, face down.
Okay. Perfect.
And then you
Just insert.
insert it again.
Okay.
Now how to insert the battery. And I got a quick guide. So when you measure the blood glucose, you need a meter, lancet device, strip, and the lancet. You have to wash your hand before you measure it, and this is the lancet device. Maybe the lancet device which you get from the local place will not be the same as this, but
Okay.
generally the
It's working the same way?
it works the same.
Okay.
So you to insert the lancet, you twist it to open.
Twister?
Yeah,
Here?
twist. Yeah,
Okay.
twist this part
Okay.
to open.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, not this part because this is where you put the depth you want.
Okay.
Yeah. So you have to grab here
Okay.
and then twist it,
Okay.
and then you insert the lancet here, and then twist the head of the lancet,
Okay. Perfect.
and cover it again. And then you pull. When you pull, the color will change.
Okay.
That means it is ready to,
It's engaged.
yeah,
Perfect. Okay. It's red.
yeah, it's red.
Okay. Okay.
Then you get the wall, you get the strip. The i-Sens 2 meter is the coding meter, which you have to match the code from the strip with the meter.
Okay.
You always need to match. So when the strip code is 20, you have to
Okay.
match with that. And for example, if you use, you
Match here
have,
in the
Yeah.
device? Okay.
for example, if you consume all the strip and you throw it away and you get another new strip,
Yeah.
and if the code is 28, you have to put it again. Yeah, you have to change it.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
입력하는 건 안 맞출 거예요.
입력이요?
코드 입력하는 거.
코드 입력이요?
그러니까 방금 코드를 입력해야 된다면서.
네.
그건 입력 안 해요? 지금?
지금 여기 이거를 넣으면 입력을 하게 되어 있습니다. 네.
What is the measurement of that here?
It's the depth.
Depth in what?
When you
What
when you
units?
prick your finger,
Yeah.
if you put it into one, this is the lowest
Okay.
depth, so it will get you a little amount of blood. But if you put it into seven,
It's not in a specific unit, just
just
one to
a
10?
level.
Just a level.
It's
Okay.
just a level
Okay.
of the depth.
Perfect.
Now I will show you how to put the code
Okay.
on the meter. So when you insert the strip
Mm-hmm.
20, right?
Okay.
You can here it says code.
Oh, it's the code.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you can move it.
Okay. Perfect.
You can go down, you can go up,
Perfect.
and the code here is 28, right?
Mhm.
So when you stop moving, it will automatically go to where you apply the blood.
Oh, okay.
Then you have to take it out and you have to put it again.
Okay.
Because the code that I have selected is not coincident with the strip, right?
Okay, perfect.
So you go here and then
Set
match.
the code.
Yeah.
Okay.
Set the code to 28,
Perfect.
and then you wait,
Okay.
and then
So
you
start to read.
yeah apply blood when there is a symbol of a drop here,
Okay.
and then you prick your finger,
Mm-hmm.
and then get the blood, apply the blood. Yeah, and then apply the blood.
Perfect.
But watch out, it has to be in a vertical way,
Oh,
not the
okay.
horizontal.
Okay.
Because if you put the strip in a horizontal way, the blood will not go inside. Instead, the blood will all like
Oh, okay.
be
The thing will get dirty.
yeah,
there.
dirty in the back part. So you will not get enough blood sample.
Okay.
So you always have to be in the vertical way, not the horizontal.
Got it.
And after that, Peter,
그럼 길 뽑으면
어떻게 가요?
내가 뽑을까? So, try?
Yeah, sure.
You want?
You wanna try?
Yeah.
Let's try. 눈 감으면 되지. 본인 직접 해야 된다고. 우리가 해주면 불법이라고 얘기를 해.
이게 코드가 몇인지 까먹었어요. 이거 28. So 28.
Okay.
Here the lancet is already prepared. So
Okay.
do you wanna which
Yeah.
level do you wanna try that depth?
What is the best one?
How
How do you define the level?
well the generally
Nobody knows.
Yeah, nobody knows.
So only one
Actually,
you-
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's 5.
Only yourself.
generally
four.
the kids or the women have
Yeah.
the
Thing.
thin skin
skin.
than the men.
Okay.
So we put it like in 2 or 3.
Okay.
So
Three
maybe
level. Five.
4.
Five?
I think that will be a
Five-
little.
five's
hurt.
too much?
Yeah.
Okay, 4.
4.
Okay,
Yes.
that's okay. Just push
어디-
here,
어디
right?
쪽에서?
Here?
It doesn't hurt when you put it this side or this side.
Oh, it's better here.
Yeah, it
Okay.
hurt less.
Just okay, just push.
Yes.
너무 좁 아니야? 오,
How was it?
No feeling.
Okay, so
It's too feel.
here
5 minutes.
28.
Come on.
Ah,
I think it's too feel.
yeah,
Let's put a little bit more.
there.
Maybe it's okay.
And then when you get the symbol of a drop,
Okay. Perfect.
did
It's
you
red.
see
Yeah.
the confirmation window
Yeah.
that it's filling with the blood?
Mhm.
So you got a normal range,
Oh, okay.
100.
Perfect.
Then you take out the strip,
Okay.
throw it away,
Just spoke.
and how you throw away the lancet is
Mhm.
twist it,
Oh, thank you.
and you put the lancet here
Ah, okay.
so you don't get pinched again.
Sure.
And then, for example, if this is a trash can,
Mm-hmm.
you pull it and you push at the same time.
Okay. Perfect.
So you don't,
You don't touch.
yeah, you don't get hurt.
Okay. Avoid contamination too.
So that's how you measure the blood glucose.
Yeah.
And for example, if the code has changed, for example, you have used the code 2128, you consume all the strip, you threw it away, and you got a new strip.
Okay.
How would you do?
Just stop here. Here. Stop. Here. No.
You
First put
First,
yeah,
yeah.
first
Oh, okay.
insert the
I thought
strip,
that-
and
okay.
then
지금
it will
지금
tell
넣으면
you.
Oh, okay. So
yeah.
turn off again?
No, anytime.
Oh, don't need
Anytime.
anytime? Oh,
Yeah, and
perfect.
then-
So just match the code. 20.
Yes. And then
Perfect.
wait.
Then wait.
음흠.
And
Wait.
then put the drop.
Yeah, till you get the symbol, and
Okay.
then you apply the
Okay, just apply the drop.
block.
Okay, perfect.
빼면 꺼지네.
So in a, I'll just show you the how to get into the setting mode.
Okay.
You press M button,
Mm-hmm.
like about
Hold.
3 seconds.
Okay.
Set,
Okay.
and then you can change the date,
Okay.
the time format into 12 or 24,
Mm-hmm.
and then you move.
The M just move the
Yeah.
fields.
With C, you can
You change. Okay.
And then M is like enter. So
Ah,
you
okay.
go to the date,
Okay.
move, and then enter.
Okay.
Time format 12 hours, enter. You change the time.
Okay, perfect.
You change the minute. And if you're all set, you press the M button like 3 seconds again.
He changed the PM and AM too?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
Yeah, that's how to set the date of
Okay.
the meter.
Perfect.
And these are some messages that you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
The high message appears when the blood glucose level is greater than 600 milligram per deciliter.
Okay.
Because our measurement range is 10 to 600 milligram per deciliter. So if the blood glucose level is greater than 600,
Mm-hmm.
it will appear as high,
Okay.
and it will not give you a result.
Okay.
It will give a high message. And low.
The only condition to appear high is above 600, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And low message appears when the blood glucose level is less than 10 milligram per deciliter.
Okay.
Because our measurement range is between 10 to
10 to
600.
600.
So if it goes below the 10, it will not give you a result, and it will give you a low message.
Okay.
Error message. The error 1 comes out when you have inserted a used test strip.
Okay.
If you put this one, if you put this test strip that you just used,
Okay.
if you insert, it will
Error.
give error 1.
Okay.
So here,
The strip is used.
yeah.
Okay.
So you know that, oh, I have to use a new strip.
Okay.
Error 2 is when you have applied the block before this symbol.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our control solution.
Okay.
So here applied before you got the drop symbol,
Mm-hmm.
you get error too.
Because you didn't set first.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you always have to wait till you get the symbol. So
Okay.
here you have to wait
Mhm.
till you get this
And then
symbol.
you put it there.
If you apply the block before you get that symbol,
Mhm.
like immediately like this,
Yeah.
you'll get error too.
Okay.
Or below the operating range.
Okay.
So the operating range temperature is 10 to 40 degrees Celsius.
Mm-hmm.
If you are in a place where it's below 10 or above 40 degrees Celsius, the error 3 will appear. So
Okay.
you have to take the meter to the place where
Go to a control.
Yeah.
Control temperature.
where it's between 10 to 40 degrees Celsius.
Okay. Perfect.
And wait like 15 minutes
Mhm.
so the meter cools down
Yeah, can
or,
adjust.
to warm up.
Okay.
Error 4 is when the blood sample has abnormally high viscosity or insufficient volume.
Mhm.
So if you put like, if the confirmation window has not filled
Mm-hmm.
completely,
Yeah.
probably you will get error 4.
Ah, okay. Perfect.
Are the installation, instrument setting, operation, maintenance, shutdown, and the cartridge.
Okay.
먼저 설명해
그치.
제가 그냥 할까요?
그래, 그래.
So yeah, before we install the electrolyte analyzer, there are some points that you have to check it out. So after you unpack the box, you have to check whether all the components are in the box. Of course, this is the one that you have to check it out.
Yeah.
And then that one is the recommended environmental temperature. The operating temperature will be 15 to 35 Celsius.
Okay.
Okay, and then whenever you install the electrolyte analyzer, you have to have the more amount, like at least 10 centimeter
Okay.
of the space for the adequate ventilation.
Mhm.
And
뭐래? 여기 드리는 게 나아. 잠깐만. 너무 되는 게 없네. 되는데?
아니.
중간에 걸려.
너무
넘길까?
넘기지.
Yes. This analyzer is use the power adapter.
Mhm.
So 뭐라 그러지? 이걸 220V를 다이렉트로 하지 않고 아답터를 통해서 24V를 한다. 이렇게 하고 싶어요. 네.
So instead of using the 220 volt
Yeah.
directly to the
Yeah.
power cord, instead of it, you have to use the power adapter to
Mhm.
transmit the volt to the 120
24.
240.
240.
Yeah.
No. 200. 그러니까 지금
average?
아답터가 24V로 바꿔주고 24V가 들어가는 거 장비 바꿔줘서 장비에 24V 들어간다.
So instead of plugging in directly to the 220 volt
Okay.
by using the adapter there,
Okay.
when you plug in either 220 or 110 volt, the adapter will convert to 24 volt, and then the power, yeah,
To the system.
it will go to the
Okay.
analyzer.
Yeah, DC voltage 24
20.
DC voltage.
Okay.
So these are the components of the product. Let me see. So there are some way of connecting power. So instead of just plug the power cord into the socket of the power adapter first, and then you have to plug the power adapter into the power port. So
Okay.
whenever you disconnect the power, you have to do in the reverse way.
Okay. First disconnect and then push from the power.
So please try. This is power adapter, and this is power cord.
Okay.
So please do.
You just
The step 1,
Yeah.
2,
1, 2,
3.
3.
okay. Just put first here,
Yes.
and then
Number 2.
you go to the analyzer. Here. Okay, and then put the power.
Here.
Okay.
Okay.
Perfect.
We recommend this way because to like prevent the electric shock or the damage to the analyzer.
Okay. Perfect.
And then you can also use the barcode scanner. It's just next to you. And then you can insert the USB connector of the barcode scanner
Okay.
to the analyzer. You can just
Okay.
connect it.
So backside or
Backside.
side? So left side.
Okay. Let's look at the back side here. Okay. Have two parts here and has more part. More part. One more here. Okay. Perfect.
And turn on. Switch on.
And then you can turn on the analyzer.
Mm-hmm.
So turn the power switch on.
Switch. Right. Here.
Yeah, that one.
Okay.
And wait for the setup.
Mm.
So you did it turn on? Did it turn on?
Yeah.
And then can you
It's
check?
starting.
Yeah. So can you check the screen that analyzer shut down properly? Can you check the sentence?
Okay. Let's wait.
Does the message analyzer shut down properly has to come out on the screen? Or
No, not yet.
Not yet?
It's starting.
Okay.
It's loading.
So if the message that the analyzer shut down properly, message pop up, it means that before when you used and then turned off the analyzer last time, it was shut down properly.
Oh, okay.
But if it wasn't shut down properly, then the error message will be shown up
Okay.
to the screen.
For example, if the building came out of energy,
Yeah,
it
or
will
like
it will not
wasn't-
appear this message, right?
Yeah, it wasn't shut down
Oh,
properly.
okay. Okay, loading.
And on the screen, you can check the date and the time on the top row of the screen,
Mm-hmm.
and you can check whether the battery is enough or not by checking the bottom row on the screen.
Okay. Still
And
loading.
And for this analyzer, it is possible to change the date and time to the one that you want, like a glucose monitoring system.
Okay. It's possible to change the date mode.
지금 이거
Yeah, date mode, and then we'll talk about it for the setting mode.
Oh, okay.
이게 턴오프도 나왔어. 아마 이거 끌 때 누가 제대로 안 껐나 봐. 한 2분 기다려야겠는데.
So you have to always check the bottom, the right side of the bottom part, because here you have to check if the power is always connected, and the battery. The battery is used only when there's no power to maintain the analyzer on.
Just as an overview.
Because the analyzer, you always have to maintain turn on.
Okay.
So you always have to check if that symbol is there.
Okay. Perfect.
If that symbol is not there, if the power code symbol is not there, the battery will appear, and that means the analyzer is using the battery. So
Okay.
you have to always check.
Okay. Perfect.
And then the battery can stand for 2 hours. So without the power connected, you can use the battery for 2
Sure.
hours.
Okay.
So
If the battery just, if you have no batteries anymore and no energy, there's some problem.
You will lose
of
the
memory,
cartridge.
lose the data.
You
You
can-
will lose the test remaining.
Okay,
test.
just this test.
Yeah.
No other problems.
Because you don't
It has a 50 test to 300 test. So you have to replace the cartridge whenever the power is off.
Okay.
So that means when you still can do, like, for example, like 40 tests, you have 40 tests remaining, but you don't have power and the battery, you use all the battery. Then you cannot use the remaining 40 tests. You have to take out the cartridge and replace into new one.
Place new one. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Tap here the message. Here's the message. No, let's shut down button. Okay. Just close the message.
I can just close.
이게 파워 리커버리가 됐어. 누가 그거 해놨나 봐. 일단은 교육을 위해서.
Open cartridge door and remove used cartridge. Scan new cartridge barcode.
And then, as I mentioned before, you can change the date and the time on the screen by entering into the instrument setup mode. And then the thing that you have to remember here is that you can just only change the date and the time before the cartridge is installed. So once the cartridge is inserted into the,
You cannot change.
yeah, you cannot change
Okay.
it.
So every time if you want to change, just change before
Yeah.
you put the cartridge.
Then this is the way of how to install the printer paper. And then Jeff will explain about it.
Okay.
Okay. First you open the cover
Okay.
and just put the paper and like this.
Okay.
So
automatically.
The printer
Yeah.
will automatically feed.
Okay.
And then
and then you push the
feed button.
여기 적혀 있지가 않네. Okay. So this button is feed
Okay.
feed button, and the other button
Reverse.
is reset
Okay.
button. So you press
Feed and reset.
Yeah.
Okay.
So feed.
Okay.
And then
You can put the end of the printer paper into the slot and then close it. So do not use the force your force to remove it, or you
Okay.
can just feed. You can just enter the feed
Okay.
button.
okay, let's
And then-
try.
Sure, this fit here. It automatically.
Okay.
And then feed the end to the slot. Okay.
Perfect.
And this is the way of how to remove the printer paper. And do not use the force. Do not use your force to
Okay.
pull out the print
Doesn't.
paper.
Oh.
Yeah, just you can just push the feed button.
Okay.
First you
Here. Yeah.
Here,
Here.
clear out the.
Okay.
and then press
Feed
the feed button
Okay.
and
It will stop. Okay.
okay.
So never use your force
Okay.
to take it out
Yeah.
or put it in.
Okay.
Always use the flip button.
Okay.
So
Perfect.
Everything will be done by automatically.
Okay.
you don't need to open like this. Just
You never need to open.
okay.
Perfect.
Then after you put the printer paper on the analyzer and then turn on the analyzer, the thing that you have to do is install the cartridge. So you have to take out the cartridge from the box.
Okay.
Actually, the cartridge
The cartridge you get pulled out.
이렇게 싸졌어.
It is wrapped with the.
Okay.
Okay.
And take out.
Just open.
You have to press the
Press the
cover lock.
okay.
button and
Okay. Just press the button here.
Yeah, press the cover lock and then remove it.
Okay. And then put
yeah,
here.
right.
And then on the screen, you can see the next
Next
button
button.
and follow the message.
Here.
Okay.
You can see the
Oh, okay. The emergency cartridge, press next.
press next button and follow the message on the screen.
Okay, press
To
next.
install the
press
cartridge.
Scan new cartridge barcode.
So first you have to scan the cartridge
Oh,
barcode
okay.
and by using barcode
Okay.
scanner.
Push it?
Yes.
Okay.
The thing that you have to do is
Okay.
Insert scan
Yes.
cartridge and
Okay.
close door.
Perfect. So
Now you
just
have to
open here.
open the cartridge door
Okay.
and insert the cartridge.
Okay. Now
Okay.
and close.
Okay, that's a click.
Or click down.
Yeah, I think so. No?
Cartridge installation.
Okay,
This is
perfect.
Yeah.
This one is the demo cartridge, but
Mhm.
for the normal one, the warming up time is usually like approximately 25 minutes.
Sorry, can you repeat? please?
The warming up time is 25 minutes.
Oh, 25
Yeah,
minutes.
But
Okay.
for this one is for the demo cartridge.
Mhm, okay.
So
Doesn't need to warm up.
yeah, warming
Okay.
up time is very shortened.
Ah, okay.
Okay.
And then you can set up the reference range.
Mm-hmm.
And then the reference range on the table shows the general guidelines. So you can put the reference range on the setting mode,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can set up.
Okay.
And then you can also set up the correlation factors.
Mm-hmm.
And then the correlation factors that you can see on the table are as follows. So there are slope range and the offset range for 3 parameters: sodium, potassium, and chloride ion.
Okay.
So you can set up the correlation factors on the menu of the factors.
Okay.
보통 하지 않고 이거는 필요시에
Uh,
엄청 드물게 이제
it's very rare to do this one.
Oh,
So
okay.
usually you don't need to set up.
Don't need
the-
to set up.
Yeah,
Okay.
you don't need to set up. It's very rare
Mm-hmm.
process to do it.
다음 점 하면 이렇게.
Just in a very specific situation.
Yeah, to like check whether it correlates to the slope.
이런
and
거
then-
얘기해요. 예를 들어 병원에서 그 전에 쓰고 있던 장비가 있는데 그 장비 결과랑 우리 장비랑 비교해 갖고 여기에 맞춰주세요. 그 전에 쓰고 있던 데이터에 맞춰주세요. 뭐 이런 경우에 이제 어떤 이런 코레레이션 팩터를 넣어줘서 그 결과에 맞춰줄 수 있는 기능, 그러니까 그럴 때 이제 쓰는 기능이다.
So it's the function that you usually use whenever you go to the hospital. They have already used the reference devices before,
Okay.
and then they request you to match the reference range of the device that you used before to the one
you
that
use the
you will
same.
install. So
Okay.
you, to match, whenever there is a request for match the reference range for the reference device and the reference range for our device,
Okay.
you set up the correlation factors.
Okay. Perfect.
Then that one is the mathematical formula, and then m is the slope, and then b is the offset. And then this one is the QC setup mode. And then to set up the QC mode, can you follow the step, the press menu
Yeah,
button?
sure.
And press full menu.
Full menu.
Left side,
Where is this?
left.
Okay, full menu. And setup.
Setup, and then QC setup.
QC setup. Okay.
QC를 안 줘가지고. QC는 주질 않아서.
Okay.
This is QC. QC는 뭐 검사 결과가 이상하거나 뭐 이럴 때 이제 확인하는 용도로 쓰는 거라는 걸 알려줘요.
We use the electrolyte control to check whether the device functions properly or not.
Okay.
Like it can be used
써야
for,
되는 건 아니다.
but this is not the one that you have to use it.
Okay.
So our QC 이렇게 1, 2, 3로 구성되어 있다.
Our QC material is composed of 3, level 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Okay. 3,
Oh, level
3, 이제 1 있어요. sorry.
No problem.
And then
And then you can select the level box.
Okay.
There are the level boxes from the level 1 to 3 and other QC.
얘도
So you can select the desired level box on the screen and press the add button.
Add button.
했다.
Okay, alright.
이제 QC
And then
QC 바코드 버튼.
Scan QC barcode. QC level error. Try again. QC level error. Try again.
아 레벨 1. Sorry, 레벨 1.
oh, level 1 here. Okay.
QC barcode has accepted.
And so it is accepted. And then you can press save button to
Okay.
save the setup.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And
Level 2 is the same.
Yeah, same.
yeah, so
Okay.
for
Add.
the setting up of the level 2 and level 3, you can just do it the
Scan
same way.
QC barcode.
Okay.
QC barcode has accepted.
Okay. Save and level 3.
It's okay.
Oh, just directly. Yeah. That's good.
So you always have to save the data before you exit to the.
So every time you put the cartridge, you have to set this.
No.
The
Before
QC is not mandatory, so
Oh, okay.
it's when you have maybe you think that there's some problem in the
Ah,
analyzer.
okay.
There you do.
It's
the
like a
QC.
reset.
Yeah, it's a quality control test.
Ah,
so
okay.
that's when you do.
Only for
not-
quality control.
Yeah,
Okay.
not always.
Okay. Perfect.
In the domestic market, we recommend to test like 3 times per day. 보통 하루에 3번 정도 하는 거죠.
전해질 않는 가스.
하지만
전해지는 거.
3 times a day.
that one is for the blood gas analyzer, not for the
Okay.
electrode analyzer. And then you can set up the instrument name.
Okay.
It's the easy one, so you can just
Okay.
skip it.
스킵.
And then you can set up the
Oh,
sound.
I can skip this?
Yeah. Sound.
Sound here.
Okay. Volume. Perfect.
Okay.
And
Perfect.
then there is a printer option, so you can choose whether you want the printer automatically printed out or not. So you can just check the auto button or the menu
Okay.
or off. If you don't want to see the printer,
Okay.
you can just put the off button.
So menu, setup, and print setup.
Is printer. Option.
Print option. Okay. So patient data, automatic QC data, calibration.
Auto means the
The printer will
the
come.
finish it the test.
Yeah, every time when you do the test,
Yeah.
auto means it prints out the result every time you do the test.
Okay. Perfect.
Manual is when you if there's some test that you want to print it out. If there's a test that you don't want to print it out, there you press you select manual. to
Okay.
Select whether to print or not.
Perfect. Okay.
And QC data is
Same.
as well same.
Mm-hmm.
Auto, when you press the auto, every time you will the analyzer will print it out
Okay.
whenever you do the QC
Mm-hmm.
test. And duplication report will have 2 copies.
One per patient and one per.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So auto cutting is on off.
Duplication report, auto cutting on and off. Okay.
다음으로.
Here is on. Okay. Perfect.
And then if you wanna write some sentence or some meaningful stuff, you can just enter the print out title
print out
on
title.
the top row or the
Okay.
below row.
Perfect.
Maybe like thank you for visiting.
Yeah. And you can just write down your name on the.
Okay. Come back in 2 weeks.
And then this one is for the interface setup. 이거 잘 모르겠네.
이거는 뭐
You can transmit the data from through this function. So you use the protocol or the
비트 컴퓨터에서 알아서 할 거야.
이거 HIS.
LIS.
LIS?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So you can automatically or manually transmit the data.
인터페이스
Interface.
Yeah. To
Okay.
the hospital system, hospital
Ah,
database.
okay.
So you can choose which data you will transmit, and then you
Mhm.
can choose the transmit the data,
Mhm.
and it will be transmitted automatically.
Ah,
Or
okay. But the hospital has to have the system, right?
Yeah, the
Yes.
system.
Okay.
The big computer.
Big computer system?
They're the expert.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
They're gonna connect the analyzer to the hospital.
Ah,
like the
sure,
laboratory
sure.
one.
They can do this.
Yeah. So
Sure.
we'll move on to the next page.
Oh,
So
okay.
if you have a check
Mhm.
the patient data,
Mhm.
so it means the patient data
Will be sent.
will transmit
Ah, okay.
to the
To the
hospital
hospital.
computer.
Ah, okay. Perfect.
And you can choose the serial or TCP/IP,
Okay.
and the serial setup,
Mhm.
and you
Oh,
can
okay, the
select
rate.
and
Sure.
or TCP/IP setup,
Ah, okay. Perfect.
and auto send and manual send.
Okay.
So auto send means
Every time
Yeah,
it will be
right.
sent. Okay.
it's manual means
To that system that is configured.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect.
you're a genius.
yeah. So until now we have explained how to install the analyzer and how to set up the setup mode. Then we will move on to how to operate.
Mm-hmm.
So can you check the ready? Can you check the ready state?
Ready state. Oh, okay, here.
Yeah. So sample
No
can
mark.
be analyzed just as the time when the ready state is shown up on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So you can check whether the ready state is on the screen or not, and then you have to check the sensor state. If you check the parameters, sodium, potassium, and chloride ion, you can check that the parameter sensor is shown up as
Oh,
the
it's
green
okay.
one, green color.
Okay.
But if sensor it has failed, yeah, it will show like a red color.
Oh, okay. In red, it's not.
Yeah, the
it's not working.
sensor state is not good.
Oh, okay.
So it will run the calibration 2 or 1 automatically. Yeah, 2 automatically.
Okay, just a question. Besides the ready text, there's two symbols, so it will appear red here.
Mm.
These marks here. It's a checkbox.
checkbox.
This one, red.
No.
Or is it
No.
just sign?
Yeah, just sign.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, just sign.
I thought that it will appear red here.
No.
Ah, okay.
Just sign.
Okay.
When one of the parameter is in color red,
Okay.
you can think that there's something wrong with the sensor.
Oh, okay.
So it will not give you a result.
Okay. Perfect.
So and
It'll appear red.
when it is red, the analyzer will automatically calibrate
Ah,
to like trying to solve out the problem.
Mhm.
But even though the analyzer has done the calibration automatically and still it's in red,
Mhm.
there's a problem. There's
Ah,
a
okay.
problem and on the cartridge.
In the cartridge.
Yeah.
So probably you have to
the-
change.
Yeah, there's a problem on the sensor in the
Ah.
cartridge, so you have to change into a new cartridge.
And
Okay.
then they will run the calibration 2 one more time
Okay.
if there's a problem.
Manually.
So you have to wait for the calibration and see if the analyzer can solve the problem.
Mhm.
But if not, you have to change
Okay.
to the new
The
cartridge.
cartridge.
Then you can do the sample analysis with 2 subsequences. The first one is the QC samples.
Mhm.
So as I have told before, there are 3 QC materials, level 1 to level 3.
QC는 안 할 것 같은데.
QC.
샘플은 뭐 할까요?
Yeah.
근데
야.
입력한 게 알거니까 할까? 그냥 할까? 하나만 하시죠.
So you can follow those steps. So
Yeah,
press
sure.
the menu
Okay.
and then run QC
Quick menu and key run QC. Okay.
and press the next
Press
button.
next run to quality control.
Lift sample cover.
So
Okay.
lift up the sample cover up.
It's
Okay.
it's hard.
Select
예.
Okay. It will not break.
이게 지금 꼬였어. So okay.
introduce sample
sorry.
now.
오케이. 이게 하면서 이게 왔다 갔다 하면서 이게 좀 이렇게 된 것 같아. It's okay. So one more.
Okay.
One more time. It's right.
Lift sample cover.
음.
Select
Complete
No.
No? Okay.
This is a syringe or tube mode,
Ah, okay.
and this position is the
For the
capillary.
Ah, okay.
For the capillary. So,
Okay.
and here you just
Level 1.
one.
Okay.
근데 이거를 바로 할 수 없고 컵에 따라야 되는데 우리 컵이 없잖아 지금.
컵, 종이컵 이렇게 괜찮을까?
아니 그 뚜껑에 담까? Okay, so select the other one.
Level 1.
Introduce QC sample now.
The, actually, it is the demonstration analyzer. So,
Okay.
또 이게 의미가 없는데 이렇게 깔아주고.
그 혈액 대신에
예, 그렇게. 근데 어차피 이게 리얼이 아니야. 안 먹여도 그냥 안 빨아도 어차피 안 빨아도 돼.
So just put here.
And press the
Press the
aspirate.
aspirate button.
Please wait. Remove QC sample now.
Okay.
Close sampler cover now.
And it will show up the random results.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the fake ones.
Okay.
And then you can see the QC results randomly because that one is the demonstration analyzer. And then
35초 만에 결과.
yeah, you can the sample ledgers will show up on the analyzer in 35 seconds for the iSmart 30 Pro.
Okay.
And then you can do
Sample analysis has completed.
And it's a random result.
Okay.
Yes.
and as you did the sample analysis with the QC,
Mm-hmm.
you can do this test for the real blood sample in the same way.
Okay.
So the procedure will be exactly the same. Prepare the sample, blood sample,
Mm-hmm.
and
Just put here.
yeah,
Okay.
using the syringe or the tube, you can put your blood sample and then press
So,
aspirate button.
you can select accept, or
Accept.
discard.
Okay.
If the result in the QC range,
Okay.
and accept.
If I
It is, yeah,
okay, it will print out.
the print.
That's good.
Or,
And cut.
Automatically cut.
or you can discard the data.
Okay.
Accept or discard the
Ah,
QC data
okay.
based on what you want.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
then
이제 환자 샘플 할 때 똑같이 하는데 한번 해봐야 되지 않을까? 해봐야 돼. 환자 샘플은 해야 돼.
okay, then we will do with the blood sample.
Okay.
Yeah.
그냥 이때 바로 이렇게 for the testing the patient sample,
Yeah.
just the ready screen, the
Mhm.
main screen,
Yeah.
you just
Oh, just pull up.
yeah.
Okay.
Lift up the cover.
Here.
So for the real test, you just lift off the cover and
Ah,
then
okay.
it will be ready for the test.
Ah, okay. Don't need to enter them in.
No,
Mhm.
that's when you do the QC.
Just calibrate.
just a QC.
Oh, QC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for the real one, real
Mhm.
test, you just lift the cover
Mhm.
and the analyzer is ready to measure.
Okay.
Do the test.
Okay. Perfect.
And the blood tube
Okay.
and syringe,
Mhm.
and then aspirate.
Okay. Perfect.
Okay.
Please
This is
wait.
for demo.
Remove
Mhm.
sample now.
Remove
Ah, okay. Perfect. And then.
Close
and
sampler
close.
cover now.
Okay. Perfect.
So after 35 seconds,
Mhm.
you can see the result. And during the 35 seconds,
Mhm.
you can input the sample number or patient ID,
Ah, okay.
like
okay.
that. So you just push and
Perfect.
like this, and
Mhm.
or
Your patient ID.
like barcode.
Ah, you can scan too.
Mhm.
Okay. Perfect.
So 이 시간에 밖에는 이게 이해할
Sample
수가 없다.
analysis has completed.
이게 클로즈로 나가버린 뒤에는 이제
So only at this time you can insert all the information about the sample, patient, and
Mhm.
everything that you can insert at this time. When you press close, you will be not able
Ah, okay.
to.
So if you need
to
to,
insert
have to do it
anymore.
again.
Yeah,
Okay.
you have to do the test again if
Okay.
you really need to
Insert.
insert the sample number, patient ID, and everything.
Okay. So every time you have to fill this, you
Yeah.
cannot forget anything. If you forgot something, you just need to do the test again, right?
다시
it
다시
is
넣고
not-
싶으면 또 다시 테스트해야 되지.
네.
So if you wanna insert the patient data one more time, you have to do the another
Yeah,
test.
yeah, yeah. So that's what I said. The person who will do the test cannot forget anything. Just have to put the correct data.
Yeah.
If they put something broken, they cannot change.
Yeah,
it.
they
Just
cannot
make
change it if
Okay.
they put the wrong data.
Okay. These data will be stored here,
Yes.
Yes. It
so
will be
you can
saved.
access
Yeah.
this data. So
Yes.
access. If you accessing this data, you cannot change.
When the data is saved into the analyzer, you cannot change
You cannot
anymore.
change anymore. Okay.
So you have to insert everything before you close the
Perfect.
data.
Okay.
For example, if you forget to insert the patient ID
Mhm.
and then you closed it,
Okay.
in the saved data, when you go to the data history,
Mhm.
you will not able to see the patient ID because you didn't save
Okay.
at this time.
Okay. Perfect. Perfect. It's close. Okay.
되었다. 좀더 빨리 해야 되네. 빨리.
So depends on the sample measures. The way of showing up the test measures will be differentiated. So if the measures falls outside of the measuring range, out of range phase will appear, and then the double arrow, which goes up to the high and then goes down to the low, will be shown up if the measures falls outside of the measuring range. And then, as I said before, if they fail in the calibration tool, the test results will not be shown up,
Okay.
and then the slope error will be appear. And then the thing that you have to be careful whenever you select, collect, or handle the samples, because there can be a clot or defibrils if you do not collect or handle the sample properly. So there are 3 types of the sample that you can choose whenever you analyze the.
Okay.
So you can test with a whole blood or plasma or the serum.
Mm-hmm.
And for the whole blood and then the plasma, you have to use the heparinized tube. Heparinized tube.
Anticoagulant.
For
okay.
the anticoagulant. But on the other hand, for the case that when you use the serum, you have to use the clot activator tube
Okay.
to make a clot.
Okay.
So actually, normally the serum will
And then for whenever we use
Serum 검사
the
많이
i-Sens 30 Pro analyzer, we usually use the serum sample.
Okay.
hospital에서
Hospital commonly uses.
Yeah, serum.
Okay.
so chemistry.
Okay. It's more difficult to use this only plasma in blood. Okay. The whole blood. Perfect.
And then we can also save the cartridge data and then download the cartridge data. So whenever there are some programs while you use the cartridges, you can just download the cartridge data and then we can send the cartridge data to our CS team. And then they will check it out. What's the program? Is the fibrin innovation program or
okay.
the clock program? They will check it out and then they will analyze and then report what's the main reason of the program.
Okay.
And then
So
we'll
if I have a
use-
problem, I just download this file
Yeah, and
and
then you
send
can
to.
send to the CS team of i-Sens.
Okay.
They will analyze it and then we will decide whether we have to compensate the cartridges or not.
Okay.
Depends on the results. Or if it's the user error, we can compensate.
Okay. Perfect.
So for example, let's copy.
Insert USB memory.
왜 안 되는지는 나중에 밝혀내고.
Yeah, maybe. So you can choose.
Cartridge data copy has completed. Remove USB memory.
그러실까요?
Okay. So, for example, if I want to send this file, I have to check everything. Okay.
everything.
Oh, okay.
아이고, sorry.
Just check everything.
I'll check.
Perfect.
Answer please wait. Cartridge
Oh,
data
okay.
copy has
Perfect.
completed. Remove USB memory.
Okay. And then you
Just send this file.
send the
I
sensors
see.
plus the cartridge data.
Ah, okay.
So if you have the complaint,
Mm-hmm.
complaint?
Compensation cartridge will
Yeah.
decide or not
Ah,
by
okay.
analyzing the data that you have sent us.
Okay.
And then for the maintenance, we do the calibration 1 or calibration 2.
Mm-hmm.
So it is the process of configuring an
Okay.
instrument to
Mhm.
provide the result of the sample within a reference range. So for the maintenance, we run calibration 1 or 2,
Mhm.
and then if there's a program, we can run the calibration 2 for 2 times.
For 2 times. Okay.
그 USB 포맷 방식은요. 그
FAT 32 요?
네.
내가 준 거 아닌 것 같아.
이승만 사장님 말해주세요.
그렇구나. So actually, this analyzer the automatically yeah
Okay.
Calibrate.
Every time he checks the everything.
yeah right yeah.
Yeah.
But if the sensor have a problem,
Mm-hmm. You can.
so you can
run this.
run the calibration 1 or calibration 2 manually.
Okay.
Mm.
Well, what is the difference? Calibration 1 and 2 is this one?
No.
No?
So calibration 1 is a 1-point calibration.
Mm-hmm.
So 설명하기 어려울 것 같은데. So our cartridge have the calibration 1 solution and
Mhm.
calibration 2 solution.
Okay.
So
If none of these two solves the problem, you have to send the files to the i-Sens team.
yeah, right.
If it doesn't work,
So this one is the composition of the cartridge. So
Ah,
there are 2 solutions: calibration 1 solution and then calibration
Ah.
2 solution.
Ah, okay.
So for to run the calibration 1,
I understand now.
use the calibration 1 solution, and
Okay.
for the 2-point calibration, you use the cal 2
Okay.
solution.
Okay, perfect.
So run cal 2 use the cal 1 solution and cal 2 solution.
Okay.
Yeah, so 1 point, 2 point,
And make a
make
line.
up the
Mhm.
line. This is the calibration 2 point
Ah, okay.
calibration. So 1 point calibration is just check the only one.
Okay, only
point.
one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry.
I got I got it. Don't worry.
Okay. 다음.
And then it's time to remove the cartridge.
Okay.
So menu, you can enter the menu, full menu, and maintenance,
Okay.
and remove cartridge.
하려고
Remove cartridge.
빼면 안 된다고 얘기해.
Okay, press
계속
next.
just
No.
Stop it.
No problem.
Oh, sorry.
There is a demo, so no problem.
Oh, okay.
This one is,
You can cancel this. No.
No.
but this one is for the demo cartridge, so
Mhm.
you can remove the cartridge,
Mm-hmm.
but the test,
Can I?
Mm-mm.
Oh no.
Yeah. so it's okay for the demo cartridge.
Mhm.
But for the rear cartridge, you do not have to remove the cartridge.
Okay.
If once you remove the cartridge out, and then you cannot use the cartridge again.
Okay.
You have to replace cartridge once you
If you
Take it
take
out.
out,
Yeah.
you have to use another one. New
yeah.
one.
So until you use all the 50 tests to these are
Ah.
300 tests, you do
300
not have
tests?
to remove it.
Okay, perfect. Can I close? Okay.
다시 장착해야 되나? 아니 끌 거지?
Okay.
아, 네.
And then this
Cool.
is just as you
Okay.
turned on the analyzer, you can just shut down
Mhm.
by going to the full menu and then shut down button.
Okay.
And then turn off. As the turn off analyzer screen appears, you have to turn off the
Okay.
power.
어, sorry.
So,
So do not turn off the analyzer before the message shows up.
Okay, so full menu, shut down,
And
next, wait for the message.
Yeah, right. So it will take about 1 minute.
Okay.
1 minute. So
This is-
이거 그냥 24시간 계속
turn.
켜놔야 되고 카트리지 들어가면 24시간 계속 켜놔야 되고 그다음에 절대 끄면 안 되고 그다음에 카트리지 빼면 안 되고 중간에 그런 걸 좀 더.
so you have to turn on the analyzer for 24 hours, and then you do not have to take it out the cartridge. And once you take it out, you have to replace the cartridge.
Sorry, I don't.
You have to, once you take it out the cartridge,
Okay.
you have to replace the cartridge.
Ah,
You cannot use the previous
without
one. Yeah. So you have to turn on the analyzer all the time for
Okay.
whole day.
for the whole day.
Yeah.
So keep it turn on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once
Keep it
you insert the cartridge,
Mm-hmm.
you have to remain the analyzer on.
Okay.
Always have to be
Until
on.
all the tests are done.
Yeah, or
If
until the
all the tests are done and if you don't want to do the test anymore, you
Mhm.
can turn it off. But if you insert it, once you have inserted cartridge, the analyzer has to be on every time,
Okay.
all the day.
Okay. 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If
Turn off.
if the analyzer shut down for some reason,
Mhm.
like if there's no power
Mhm.
or we have battery inside or two that can be turned on for 2 hours,
Yeah.
but even though the battery has gone and it turns off.
Yeah, this
Um,
analyzer will be in the chip, right? In the chip. So the chip is only, I think, only generator.
No.
If there is some problem.
Oh, that the analyzer has to be on when the cartridge is
Only
in.
the cartridge.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you're doing the test.
Okay.
Yeah, and other days when you're not doing, when the cartridge is not in and you're not using anymore, it can be turned off. But
Okay.
when the cartridge is in, it has to be on.
Yeah, but you cannot remove the cartridge before the 300 test, right?
50 tests.
Oh, 50 test. Oh.
There's 50 tests, 100 tests, 200 tests, and 300
Ah.
tests. So
So
We got it.
저희는
50T짜리, 50T짜리
50T짜리.
네.
So the cartridge that you're gonna get is 50 tests.
50 tests.
Yes. So, for example, if you remove the cartridge, even though you have remaining of 30 tests,
Okay.
you will not be able to use the cartridge anymore.
So
You're
you have
just
to use
losing.
everything
Yeah.
first. So the analyzer will be keep on
Mhm.
24 hours a day until you finish the
Yeah.
test,
Yes.
and then you remove and
Yeah.
put a new one. If it's not in, you can shut down.
Yes.
So as long as you don't want to waste the
Oh.
remaining test, you have to turn on
Yeah.
the analyzer 24
Sure,
hours.
just keep it on.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there were some programs in Africa. If there's a breakdown of the light,
Yeah.
there can be some program.
Yeah.
So this one is the summary. So you have to, the analyzer should be in the ready state to test the sample,
Mhm.
and then power. When the power was interrupted, the power is restored within 24 hours.
Mhm.
And then when the analyzer was analyzing the sample, the power was interrupted, and then the power should be restored in 20 minutes once the power is off.
Okay.
And then
Just really.
there can be some power interruption, usually in Africa or some countries, in foreign countries.
Mhm.
And then the installed cartridge can be used to 5 times for the power recovery. So you can just take out the cartridge 5 times, and then as long as
그러니까
네.
그냥 혹시나 뭐 경쟁이 됐건 아니면 실수로 껐건 그렇게 했을 때 24시간 안에만 다시 켜주면 이제 지금 이 카트리지를 교체를 하지 않고 다시 쓸 수 있다. 그리고 근데 그 횟수는 5번까지로 제한돼 있다. 이렇게 설명해야 될까요? 혹시나 이제 너네가 실수로 껐거나 뭐 아니면 꺼졌거나 했을 때 라고 얘기해요.
If you turn off for some reason, like for by mistake,
Mm.
You have to turn on the analyzer within 24 hours.
Okay.
So in order to use the cartridge again, which is in,
So you 지금
you just
실수가
turn off the analyzer,
Okay.
right? Even though the
Ah.
cartridge is in.
이거 아까 뺐지, 리무브 했지.
Let's assume that the cartridge is in.
Okay.
Okay, and then you just
A
turn
real
off.
cartridge is in.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you just turn off, right?
Yeah.
Even though the cartridge is in the analyzer.
Yeah.
If you turn on the analyzer within 24 hours, you can still use the cartridge, but up to 5 times. More than 5 times, you have to throw the cartridge away.
Okay. I understand.
And that's when you're in a ready state. But for example, you were doing the test.
Mhm.
You're doing the test,
Okay.
and then the power went off,
Okay.
or somebody have mistakenly like
Ah,
turned it
Yeah,
off.
turn off.
that's,
and then-
that's dangerous.
Yeah. Within that, when you were doing the test, within 20 minutes, you have to turn on.
Okay.
If you turn on after 20 minutes, you have to throw the cartridge
Yeah.
away.
What I was trying to tell you about the generator is because this equipment will be on a ship, so there is only generator for energy. So if there is some problem with the generator, they have 24 hours to fix the problem because the boat will be in the river, so there is no energy.
But when you are when you're transferring the analyzer will be off, and the cartridge will not be inside, right? So it doesn't matter.
No, it will be
쓰고
inside.
있을 때 얘기해.
You are, yeah, for example, this will be in the boat, in the ship. So you are doing the test, and then energy turns off.
Oh,
So there's
doing
2
the
hours
test
on
in
the
the boat.
battery. Yeah, because the boat, so the only source of power is the generator.
지금 이제
야.
우리는 아마존 스마트 의료선이야.
So
병원에서 믿었어.
you have 2 hours of battery.
Oh, yes.
So they have 22 hours to fix the problem with the generator in the boat to restore the energy.
Yes.
Because if past 24 hours, we
You
have
have
to
to
discard
waste
the
the
cartridge
battery.
and put a new one.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's when you're in a ready state. You're not doing anything with the analyzer. That's that's
24
within
hours.
24 hours. But
Okay.
while you're doing
If
the
you're using 20
test,
minutes.
and then
Yeah.
it turned off, you have to restore it within 20 minutes.
Okay.
Yes.
But there's battery, so the battery
yeah.
will not let.
But even when the batteries will have for 2 hours,
Mhm.
you will able to use the analyzer with the battery
Yeah.
within 2 hours, right? So maybe the battery is almost like going out,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah, but at least you can finish the test, the first test. Yeah.
and then you were doing the test with the battery
Yeah.
power, and then it went off. You have to restore it in 20
In
minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. Otherwise, you have to discard the cartridge.
Yes.
다음으로.
그냥 이런 화면이 나오면 그냥 예스를 누르면 된다.
And then whenever this message shows up, you just enter the yes button.
Okay.
You don't need to put
거의
any no.
이거는 나오지 않는.
Yeah, it doesn't show up very frequently, so it's
okay.
like a rare mode.
Oh, okay.
So you do not really need to worry about this kind of modes.
Okay.
And this one is the cartridge overview.
Mhm.
And then the main advantage over our cartridge is the all-in-one cartridge. So we contains all the cartridge solution, calibration solution, sensor card, and solution bags. So everything is in it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, the probe. Perfect.
So this is electrode.
This is the connection?
Here. Yeah.
Okay.
And pump tubing, valve,
Okay.
the solution, back, the solution,
Okay.
carbon solution inside.
Okay, perfect.
So for the another cartridge from the competitor companies, they have to buy each sensor or solution backwards or calibration 1 or 2 every 6 months or a few years. But we contain all the solutions and everything in it. So the price is not that expensive.
Okay.
So it contains everything.
Okay.
And then if there is some programs in using the cartridge, you can just discard the cartridge or
Okay.
just replace the cartridge.
Okay.
So you do not need to send all the engineers all the time to the isolated
Mhm.
areas. So especially in the Philippines or some like very poor country like Africa, it is very easy to use. Just you do not need to waste time for sending the engineer, and then you don't
Okay.
need to
Just change the part.
Yeah.
Just change.
Okay. Perfect.
And then this one is the same composition, so we will skip it up.
음.
Yeah, 그다음에
음. 10대 30대.
the storage temperature should be from the 10 to 30 Celsius.
Okay.
And then this one is the calibration frequency. So
Mhm.
for the calibration one, the maximum calibration frequency is every 60 minutes. And
Mhm.
for the calibration two, the maximum calibration frequency will be every 6 hours.
Okay.
And that one is this is the end. So if you have any questions, you can ask to our specialist.
I have one question
Yeah.
actually. For example, you put the blood here, right?
음.
So this clean automatically for other tests?
음.
Yeah, so it rinses out or the blood or the contamination part.
This we call this part the
Mhm.
septum. The septum, the wipe,
Okay.
and the blood and wipe.
Okay. Very hard.
And then
Mm-hmm.
after the test, after aspirating the sample
Okay.
and the measuring and then the analyzer.
You clean the probe.
Yeah, so we learn the calibration,
Oh.
rinsing, more calibration, like that. So,
Mm-hmm.
and at the time, yeah, this-
And clean.
yeah, clean the.
And
this
then-
part.
How it clean the
Hmm?
how it clean the probe.
He just show you that when you
There is a solution.
힘들어.
It's by a solution that clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah, this solution.
yeah.
Ah, okay.
This is sample approved.
Ah, okay. And then the waste bag.
The septum wipe this. Right?
Perfect.
And the solution.
Okay.
Here.
Flows and clean
Yeah,
everything.
flows.
Waste.
Goes to the waste bag. Okay, perfect. I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
So when you lift and then close it,
Hmm.
this plastic part goes
Just goes
down, right?
Yeah.
And then there, it whips it out
Okay.
the blood, and then when it goes down, the solution flows and
Okay.
it rinses.
Okay, perfect.
So
Thank you.
all the contamination part will be go directly to the waste bag.
Ah, okay, perfect. Thank you. Yeah, that's all.
뭐 또